I'm a believer.
Yeah.
Hey,
This is me.
we gotta let low.
This is who I am.
Hey, to all
To me.
God's people.
Let's get at 'em, baby. Come on. Hey. This right here don't make no sense. You ain't gotta guess, baby, that I'm his. Crucified, died. Now while I'm in him, I done put my faith in him, homie, to the end. Got a new life, I live in Christ. It's because of him your boy shine so bright. You keep the rings and the chains and the ice can't stand campaign. That's about champagne, that's lame, no game. Homie, I rep Christ. You can be my lyrics in the way that I write. I surrendered everything, even my rights. Counted all his own shit so I can know Christ.
Faith, respect, love, and family. This is what makes New Life a second home. Not just for me, but for everyone. We embrace our love to one another. This is the story of Orlando.
My name is Orlando Quintana. I'm currently the director of the New Life for Men shelter. Also, I'm a deacon for New Life Covenant Church. I work with the Driven Youth Ministry as well. Anywhere from skits to preaching to cleaning up, whatever they need from me. But I guess my most prominent role would be director of the men's shelter here. Well, I came to New Life at the age of 16. Before coming to New Life, I lived in a single mother home. My parents divorced at a young age. My dad cheating on my mom and having another son, and that kind of broke up our family. I had dropped out. I stopped going to school for about a year. I was going to Clemente High School. Things went wrong. Things went really wrong. The people I was hanging out with. What ended up happening is I ended up leaving school for a whole entire year. Ended up going to Aspira, another high school, and while I was there, they happened to move right across the street from New Life Covenant Church.
Father God, I'm praying to you for somebody.
Now that I think about it as an adult and I look back in my life, I don't regret anything because I can see now how God was working in my life, how He let me go through certain things in order for me to use them now. Going through things, a lot of people don't know a lot about my story, just things me and my family went through at a young age, getting kicked out of our apartments left and right, living in some pretty bad conditions for some of our life. And basically those things helped me do what I'm doing now. It helps me reach out to people, these homeless men here at the church, to reach out to the youth that are going through maybe the same thing. Maybe their parents don't have a lot of money. Maybe their parents are divorced. Maybe they've had their dad cheat on their mom. Maybe they struggle finding out who they are. And because of the things I went through, I can see God moving in them. So I don't regret it. There's things that I look back and I can't believe I did. Smoked a lot of weed growing up, coming up at a young age. Did a lot of dumb stuff. Did a lot of things I'm not proud of, but I don't regret any of it because those things made me who I am today.
Whoa, yeah. Oh, oh. Hey, yeah, look, check this out. Ain't nobody gonna get no teeth with no pizza.
They welcomed me with open arms. I was able to come here and be myself. I was able to, when I was struggling with everything else in my life, I was able to come here and find friends and find people that brought me in, father figures, older brother figures that brought me in.
Hey, what's up, mommy?
New Life is a pretty famous church here in Chicago. New Life is a great church because no matter how big it's grown, it's never lost sight of its mission.
I believe in God. Yeah, you know what? It's fine. I can curse. I can go clubbing. I can go to the parties. I can do whatever I want. It's all right. I'm a believer. But that's the issue. We have a lot of believers, but not enough followers.
If you know anything about churches in the United States, when a church grows, a lot of times they stop worrying about the poor. They stop worrying about the young people, the young people that come from broken homes. They stop worrying about the single mothers. But New Life has always been focused on that. So when I came to New Life, it showed me what it was to be a man of God. Showed me what it meant to live life with standard. I think that's the biggest thing. I have a great father. I have a good father, and he's one of my closest friends. But the thing that I gained here was godly men that taught me how to see God, and taught me what I needed to do. And then also just friends and countless relationships and friendships and opportunities to travel. Just really brought in, intentionally pulled in, where pastors and Pastor Choco and other pastors literally saw something in me and said, hey, I'm gonna work with this kid and I'm gonna teach him what it means to be an adult. I'm gonna teach him what it means to get his life together, and that's how it became a second home. Now I work here full time. I dedicate my life to Jesus through this ministry.
You see, the reason why we don't follow God is because we don't know Him. The reason why we can't really fully go after God and follow Him is because we don't know what we're following. We're everywhere. Man, they put the nay-nay on. Everybody's nay-nay now. We following.
Driven is the youth ministry of New Life Covenant Church. Driven is a ministry that when I first started coming, we had about 700 kids. We had a packed house. The thing about Driven that's always been a draw for people is that it's real culturally relevant. So like, they're not like the lame typical church that people are used to.
It's okay.
People here at church and they run from it. A lot of people grew up, especially Hispanics, grew up in Catholic church and they have a certain mindset of what church is. And then you come to Driven and you have people on stage acting a fool, you have music playing and people dressed in Jordans and Nike and all this crazy stuff, wearing Toms and stuff, and it's like, this is not what I pictured church to be. Driven is just a great place where you can find mentorship, and especially when I was coming up, it was at its peak. I believe Driven was at its peak when I was coming up. A lot of us from that age group are now serving in ministry. A lot of us are pastors or directors of things or running different things, and Driven is just an amazing place to be. Every Thursday night at 7 p.m. I did Master's Commission, which is also a college age program that the church has. I did that for 3 years, and then after that, one of my pastors said, hey, we want you guys to, he had a group of us, said, we want you guys to take a deacon classes. And I went to the deacon classes, and being a deacon here at New Life just means that, hey, you're available. You make calls to people when people need to be spoken to. When people are hurting, you call them and let them know you pray. Whenever we have an altar call, people come to the altar, they fill out a card, and then we call those people. And I just wanted to be there, just another way to reach out, to give back to this church that's given me so much, you know. And the New Life has done for me is this. It's not necessarily about New Life. I love New Life to death. What New Life did for me was give me a place where I could meet Jesus for the first time, and Jesus is just amazing, and He carries my life, and once you get to know Jesus, it's hard to turn back. It's impossible to turn back, and that's what I'm most thankful for. That He gave me an opportunity not only to get to know Jesus, but use my gifts. I'm a kid. I never thought I would see myself preaching to hundreds of people. I never thought I would see myself holding together a ministry on my own. I never thought I would see myself directing a men's shelter, and New Life has given me that opportunity to figure out that I could do more than I thought I could, and it's given me the opportunity to just live my life with Christ.
This is my second home. This is my second home.
It is a second home, it truly is.
If ignorance is bliss, it's cause she never heard of this. I could play the background, I could play the